Hi guys, welcome to this video. We are gonna review Pat Metheny's album Side Eye 3 Plus. Now, Pat Metheny is a critically acclaimed, I think 20-time Grammy winning jazz guitarist. And he is very popular. He is recorded with the classic ECM record label and amongst other labels. He has played with so many different musicians over his 5 decade plus career. I think at the time of this recording, I think he might be 71, and he looks a very sprightly 71 as well. He doesn't look like a day over 51, if I'm honest. Pat Metheny brought a very accessible guitar tone into contemporary jazz when he came out in the 1970s, the mid-1970s with Bright Size Life. He would then go on to do some monumental albums for ECM, including the Bright Size Life and Watercolors, and his collaboration with keys player Lyles May was an ongoing partnership which lasted decades. He goes into the 80s and signs with a Geffen Records, I believe, and he does some great albums there with his group. So he has the Pat Metheny group. During the 80s, he had a drummer called Paul Werdigo, who was one of the greatest jazz drummers in contemporary jazz, as well as having Lyle Mays in there and other really top-notch musicians. So he goes through and he does lots of different stuff. He does the Pat Metheny group. He does his own solo stuff. He does a album of a tonal sort of distorted guitar called Zero Tolerance for Silence. And then he does what I consider to be his magnum opus, The Way Up. So we fast forward now into 2026, and especially over the last 3 or 4 years, Pat Metheny has wanted to continue in the mode of having a revolving cast of members in his bands, new up-and-coming jazz musicians who are virtuosos at their instruments, and he comes under the new moniker of Side Eye, and the Side Eye Band is just the vehicle for him to be able to run through different musicians when he wants to rotate the band over. And on this current album, I have to say that the core trio is there still. So it's Pat Metheny, and you've got Chris Fishman and Joe Dyson there in the band. So the core trio was there, and they had I think they had about 13 more musicians into it. What this album is just such a rambunctious tour de force of interplay between the players. The percussion's absolutely fantastic, and there are different modes in which Pat goes into. So what we have on the first track in on it is your typical kind of mid-tempo Metheny fare, and then about the 4th, 5th minute of that track, we have like the guitar synths and sort of a more abrasive kind of sound coming in for the last 2 minutes of that track. We've got ballads in here. Some of the musicians have a church background, so there's like organs, and it has a sort of a gospel feel. There's elements of blues in this one as well. There's elements of funk. There's just a good variety of sounds here on this album, and Pat Metheny just tends to keep getting it done time after time. His playing on this, especially the guitar synths that he does on this, are absolutely inspired. And if you are a fan of his albums, The Way Up, and Tokyo Trip, and some of his newer stuff like Moondial, I think you'll get a real good kick out of this. This is a fantastic album. It's probably a 9 out of 10, I would say. he's just going to keep on keeping on, producing probably an album a year at this stage until he can no more. He just seems to be a workhorse, Pat Metheny. And yeah, just check it out. Side Eye 3 Plus is out now. It's been out for a few months. I'm a bit late to the party reviewing it, but I have been listening to it since it came out, and it's fantastic. So there you go. I'll see you in the next one.